Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And the people who thank you have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well, and I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lezer Brody, Rabbi Yossi Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Lon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rav Daniel Asore, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skobach, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Asher, and Rabbi Ron Uvain as well. If you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link below this video to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So today's topic is actually, again, taken from an email from Rabbi Eli Mansour, but this is actually in relation to Tisha B'Av, which is coming up the Motzei Shabbos after this, but Be'ezrat Hashem, that won't happen, and it'll turn into Simcha, and Mashiach will come, and Hebrew Amen, Amen. But in the meantime, this is good information anyway to help us out. And I call this, we need to work together. So Megillat Eicha laments, this is from 3:8, Gam ki etzak va'asheva satam tefilati. Even when I cry out and plead, my prayer is blocked. At the time of the temple's destruction, there were righteous people who prayed and pleaded to Hashem to annul his decree and not destroy the Beit HaMikdash. Unfortunately, however, these prayers were, quote, blocked. That's what satam means. And could not achieve their desired result. So why were these prayers blocked? The Kabbalistic sources teach that all the negative forces in the world are under the authority of two, quote, generals, who are named Mahalat and Lilit, which is, we're not supposed to say her name. It's a female. So we spell it out, or we say it, we pronounce the Li, and then the T afterwards. So it's like space it out. So these two angels of destruction, it is taught, were always fighting with one another. And this prevented calamity from striking, as they were constantly embroiled in conflict with each other. They were unable to work together to bring destruction upon Am Yisrael. At the time of destruction of Beit HaMikdash, however, these two angels managed to put aside their differences and join forces. This bonding has had the effect of filling the world with forces of tumah, impurity, and these forces blocked the righteous Jews' prayers from ascending to the heavens. As a result, these prayers could not annul the decree, and thus the verse laments Satam Tefilati. All the heartfelt prayers to stop the destruction were blocked and never reached the heavens. The great Kabbalist Rav Moshe Galanti from Sfat in the 16th century explains on this basis the comment of the famous Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, which instructs us to Ohev Shalom for Odev Shalom, a lover of peace and a pursuer of peace. He writes that when we love peace and maintain unity and peaceful relations among our nation, then Hashem will pursue and destroy the peace between these two generals of evil. As long as we get along peacefully with one another, the two angels of destruction will quarrel with one another and thus be unable to harm us. It is only when we fight among ourselves that unity is maintained between these two angels, enabling them to wreak havoc in our world. So the key to redemption is unity and peace, being kind and loving to one another, even to those with whom we disagree and of whose actions we disapprove. So as hard as that may be, it's still something that we all need to work on. So there was once a man who was praying in Shaarei Tzion and objected to the fact that somebody else, who was known to be far less than strictly Torah observant, received an aliyah. The man expressed his objection to Chacham Baruch ben Chaim, who assured the man that this other fellow was allowed to receive an aliyah. When the man continued to voice his disapproval, Chacham Baruch said, "Many years ago there was a man here in this synagogue who was known not to be particularly observant, but Chacham Yaakov Kassin allowed him to receive an aliyah." Rather than rejecting him, Chacham Yaakov decided it was best to welcome the man with love and friendship. So that man, Chacham Baruch continued, was your father, meaning the man who objected to this other person getting the aliyah is the one who he's talking about. So that was his father that happened that years ago. So you are observant today because your father was warmly welcomed and respected when he was not yet strictly religious. So you see, the fact that you're bringing him in and it's encouraging him. So that was, he wouldn't be where he is today if not for that situation. So this period when we mourn the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash is the time especially suited for increasing our level of tolerance and love for those with whom we disagree. We need to work together and show one another respect and friendship, even if we follow different lifestyles and have different views about important matters. When we see people who are not as meticulous about halacha as we think they should be, we are naturally disturbed, as well we should be, given the importance of religious observance. But anger and hostility is not the appropriate response. Nothing positive can possibly result from arrogantly and condescendingly criticizing people for what we perceive as their religious laxity. If we want to precipitate change, then to the contrary, this can be achieved only through warmth, friendship, and love. And as a side note, for my own situation, I know with certain people in my life that are kind of like hardcore, quote-unquote, like me, that I could tell them the truth in their face, and it doesn't come from a place of hostility or arrogance or anything like that, but I can be a little strong with them, and then other people are not, but I still have to tell the truth, so I try to do it in a nicer way, less I guess, I don't know, if forceful or just not as strong, I guess, for me. So if we succeed in building and maintaining peaceful relations within our community and between the various communities in Am Yisrael, then we will succeed in breaking the unity between the forces of evil so that our prayers for redemption will once and for all be answered. And Tisha B'Av will then be transformed into a day of great joy and festivity. Amen. And may that be so, and we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting base, HaMikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.